Kit Kats Can Read. Hello people of BookTube, welcome to another video, and in today's video I'm going to bring in you guys my August wrap up. So I did really well in the month of August, all things considered, and I managed to read a total of 5 books. Well, 4 physical, 1 ebook. So I'm going to start by what I first read and completed. I'm going to give you a basic synopsis, a brief summary of my thoughts as I have reviewed pretty much the majority of these, and also my Kit Kat rating. I don't do stars, I do Kit Kats. So for those of you that are new to my channel, you'll see exactly what I mean in a sec. So the first book that I completed in the month of August was Clockwork Prince by Cassandra Clare. This is book number 2 in the Affirmative Vices trilogy. This was one of my currently reading books, and I managed to pick it up and complete it. I absolutely loved this book. It was so good. So, oh my goodness. I've done a video review on this, which I will link it down below for you to check your thoughts on it, because, oh my goodness, just blown away. So much happens in this book. So much happens in this book, and you know when you're like, oh, I totally like ship these people. Well, I don't even know who to ship, because I just love all of the male contestants of the book. So yeah, really enjoyable. If you guys don't know what the story is about, I'll give you the basic synopsis of the first book. We've got this girl called Tessa, who is what they call a downworlder. She is a shapeshifter. Nobody really knows like what she sort of is, like whether she's sort of like part warlock or part this or part witch, or nobody really knows. Neither does Tessa, so it really is about her discovering herself. People want her for the greater evil, and she is saved by the Shadowhunters, the Shadowhunter world, Will and Jem and everybody else. So she's trying to be protected because of that. Her brother has sort of gone missing, so she's trying to find her brother. So this is obviously a continuation of that, and yeah, it was a fantastic emotional roller coaster. I loved it so much. I cannot wait to read the next and final book in the trilogy, but I'm reading Cassandra Clare's books in a publishing order just so that they make sense, and so it's all in order and all organised. But yeah, loved it so much. This actually got an ultimate Katie star, which means a 6-star rating. That is how much I loved it. It's an all-time favourite. I just, oh, so good. The next book that I read and completed in the month of August was The Demon World by Sally Green. This is the sequel to The Smoke Thieves, which, if you guys don't know, I read last year when that was released. I was lucky enough to receive a review copy of this. I've also done a video review of this book, linked down below if you'd like to know more of my thoughts. But the first book is pretty much about all of these different people. We've got a thief, we've got a princess, we've got a sort of suspected prince, we've got sort of like the prince's guard and that sort of thing, and they all embark upon a quest. They end up meeting each other. We basically are in a world where when demons die they emit this smoke, and when inhaled it can sort of give superpowers. So it's sort of like really rare to get hold of, and pretty much people are in trouble, I suppose, like if you are caught stealing it and that sort of thing. So yeah, very interesting concept. I really enjoyed the first book, and I actually really enjoyed the second book, probably even more than the first. I actually found myself laughing a lot more with this book than I did with the first book. I listened to a little bit of this on audiobook as well, which I totally recommend you doing. It's so good, and in this one we've got more adventure, we've got romance, we've got lies, so much that goes on in this book, and yeah, just it was so good, and I really enjoyed it. And what's really good in these books is because it's a fantasy, obviously we have lots and lots of characters. So in the back the author has very kindly put a list of like families and who's in what family and who they are, and So if you ever are like, who is this person again, you can refer to it at the back of the book. But luckily it's actually fairly easy to follow through, and yeah, ends in an interesting way. Really enjoyed it. 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The next book that I read was the ebook. This was Harry Potter History of Magic, Charms and Defense Against the Dark Arts. It's by J.K. Rowling. She has released these mini ebooks that has come out. I've pre-ordered all of them. This is the first book that's in this ebook series, and I thought that it was a brilliant small ebook full of facts. If you are a Harry Potter fan, old or new, perfect for fans. Gives you some sort of like back research on the book, and yeah, I found it really interesting. I really enjoyed it. It's a quick short read, and I feel like all of these ebooks together would just be perfect. Yeah, it was beautiful, it's cute, it is perfect, and I gave it 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The next physical book that I read and completed in the month of August was Did I Mention I Need You by Estelle Mascamé. This is the sequel to Did I Mention I Love You. If you guys have been following my channel, you know that I love the first book. It's a stepbrother, stepsister romance sort of novel. However, they are stepbrother and stepsister by marriage, not by blood. So that's why I'm like, I'm actually okay with it. So it's a forbidden romance sort of book, and it's basically about the girl called Eden, and she has to move to live with her dad and her stepmother, and along with her stepmother there are 3 stepbrothers, and she is most intrigued by Tyler, who's sort of like the bad boy, and she pretty much strikes up a sort of forbidden romance with him, and they can't help but stay away from each other. However, Tyler does have a girlfriend who treats him like crap, and she is pretty much in the way, and Tyler really doesn't want to be with her, but she's pretty much got her claws into him, and yeah. So this is a continuation on from that, where Tyler has moved to a different area, where things got revealed in the first book, and Eden goes to visit him, and it's pretty much about there was just so much angst. There's a lot of romance, and I absolutely loved and adored it. There's just more forbidden romance just going on in this book, and more tension, and just the romantic scenes and everything, and I loved it. I did a review on this too, so I'll link that down below if you'd like to know more of my thoughts, but yeah, loved it so much. Such a good book. 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. The final book that I read during the month of August was Morgan Charmley's Teen Witch by Katie Birchall. This actually releases on the 5th of September, so maybe by the time this video is up it will be released. And this is basically about a young witch called Morgan. She has just passed her exams to go to normal school, where she can go to school with normal people. However, she has to disguise the fact that she is a witch in this world. Witches and warlocks hate each other, and so Morgan is trying to get through school without using magic. She's made a promise that she will not use magic. However, she's finding school really tough. She's got a familiar who are basically like an animal-like companion. They can transform into any sort of creature they want to, and they are funny and hilarious. Their name is Merlin, and they are so funny. This does have a middle grade-y sort of feel. Her age is 13 in this book, so I suppose it can pass for a middle grade young teen sort of a book. And yeah, it's full of magic. It's the first book that's in a new series. I fell in love with it. It was such a good, magical, cute, funny, hilarious, cringing. Oh my goodness, if you are a fan of Georgia Nicholson books by Louise Renison, or the Geek Girl series by Holly Smale, those sort of similar style books, you will love this one. If you love Sabrina the Teenage Witch, pretty much in a younger form, it's so funny, so worth it, and 5 out of 5 Kit Kats. If I had to have a favourite book of the month, of course, with no competition whatsoever, it would be Clockwork Prince, because it just had everything for me. And yeah, Ultimate Katie Star is an all-time favourite. So good. I loved this book more than I did with the first book that's in the trilogy, put it that way. And so many emotions all over the place, and I just flew through it. It's a massive bulky book, and I flew through it. So good. So good. I just remember at the ending I was just like, no idea what's going to happen next, and yeah, so many feelings, but yeah, loved it so much. So that is the end of my wrap up for the month of August. I feel really happy with myself because my aim is to read 4 books a month. I try to push myself to read 5, but I would like to try and get at least 1 book a week read, and I managed to do that, and even read an ebook. So I'm feeling really good with my reading for August. It's better than other months. I'm a really slow reader and I work full time. I work 39 hours a week. And I am really exhausted lately, so the fact that I've done all that reading, it feels really good, and I feel like I've achieved something. And yeah, and I've been really good with videos too, so it feels like it's been a successful month. So if you guys have read any of these books that I've mentioned in today's video, let me know down below in the comments what you have thought about them, or if they're on your TBR. Let me know how you did in the month of August as well, and what you're planning on reading for the month of September. My September TBR is up, so I'll link that down below in the description if you'd like to see what books I'm reading during the month of September. I'm participating in a lot of readathons, but the books are pretty much coinciding with each other with the readathons. But I'm really excited to get a head start, especially with my own readathon, the Popularathon. If you guys don't know about the Popularathon, that's a readathon where you read popular and hyped books. But like I say, my TBR for that will be linked down below, so you can see what books I'm reading, and maybe you guys can participate too, because it's a monthly long readathon. But that's it from me, guys. Keep smiling, keep reading, and be happy. My name is Katie, and I'll see all of you wonderful, awesome people in my next video. Bye!